fill us in though. So you're doing something, you realize you don't like it. You're at this mortgage company. You realize you like writing. Obviously now you're an author of a few books. So like, and you don't work at the mortgage company anymore. You're writing at Forbes as well. You're doing all these things now because you followed your interest, but put us into the moment of like, kind of how you went from being at this job, you didn't like it, to following your interest, to now really some of the things that you're doing today.
Yeah. So, got back from Europe, and I had about a 2-month lull until I started that first job. But yeah, worked at a mortgage company, was in the industry for 2 years, and it one day just clicked. Like, I'm so fucking bored in here. Like, it's just terrible. If I'm going to be doing this, at the time I'm 20, I think I was 22. If I want to be doing this, working for the rest of my life, I have to be doing something that interests me. I have to be doing something that makes me feel fulfilled. And I, go home every day feeling depleted. This isn't where I want to exist for the rest of my life. And that was the switch. It really was. I was like, kind of like, oh, whoa, this is, we gotta make some changes here if I want to feel, happy with what I'm doing. And like you said, I kind of realized, okay, like, what are my skills? Like, what are my actual skills that could provide value to, a company, to other people? And so I kind of just ran through the different creative things I was really good at, because I'm a very creative person, photographer and writer. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, what do I want to like get into? Where can I like, take these things? And writing was something that kind of stuck out at me because I could freelance. And so I could do that at the same time that I was working this 9 to 5. And because I didn't have a journalism background, I was going to need some maybe freelance practice to build up samples to really prove myself in the space. Yeah. And so luckily my brother, who is also in the same kind of work that I do, he had some past freelance clients. And so he dished them off to me. They were looking for couple articles a month or whatever it was. And so I was working like 10-hour days. I would work at the mortgage company, 9 to 5, and then come home and basically write before and after dinner, which was like, 2 to 3 hours of doing freelance stuff. And so it was a grind. It was really a grind, but I knew what the reward would be if I put myself through that work and just, put my head down for 6 months. I knew that I could get somewhere where I could be happy with what I was doing every day. I could be excited to come to work and feel like I was, creating the impact that I wanted to create. And after, freelancing for some time, I eventually landed my first writing gig with a publication out of New York City. Stayed there for 2 years, and then eventually was headhunted by Forbes, and that's where I'm editing right now.
Let's go. And, and two things too, I think, is just ridiculous amount of kudos to you to saying like, I'm not happy and let me do something about it. I think it's unfortunate that so many people don't love what they do and they just settle. And they go, yeah, I don't love it, but that's life. And you just go through it and you don't really enjoy it. So like, kudos to you. And I think one thing I'm seeing that helped pull you into that, because some people may go, I don't like this. And, I don't really know what this other thing is. I may like writing, but like, what's going to come of it? I think one thing that I'm hearing in your own story is like, you had a vision of where you wanted it to go, right? Where it's like, I got writing, and if I can do this, I can, freelance for a little bit, then it could lead to something else. I can build my credibility. And I think it's just a beautiful nugget for anyone listening to this, that if you want to go to something else, like, do it maybe on the side at first to get some momentum built up. But most importantly, like, have a vision of really what you want to create. Because I'm sure there were days where you got home and you're like, damn, I'm depleted. I had a shitty 8 hours at the mortgage company and I like don't want to write. I got these people that need me to write from, but it's like, when you go back to that vision of like, but no, if I keep doing this, I'll get the credibility and then I can go to somewhere else and it eventually can lead to this other life. I just have to imagine that having that vision allowed you to really like take the action, even when some days you didn't want to take the action.
Yeah, I think the vision really helps, because while it gives you the destination, for example, so for me, my vision was a full-time writing gig. That was the thing I was manifesting. I didn't want to be a freelancer because I just wanted something more secure and then somewhere where I could really just grow with the company. And so the end goal was a full-time writing gig. but I knew, like, you got to be realistic. I knew that wasn't the next step. I
Yeah.
knew there was some stuff that had to happen between, and one of those things was freelancing. And even though I didn't want to do it, I remembered the purpose. The purpose was to get me to the thing that I wanted, the thing that I was manifesting. And so that helped me stick, through the process. And remembering the purpose too helped me fall in love with the process because it gave reason. It gave, it gave weight, and it gave, I guess, a purpose to the process. And if I didn't have that, I feel like I would have quit because it was really tough. And it was like, riding at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. after a long day, and have to get up and, do it all over again.
Yeah.
It was tough. And so just being able to remind myself, okay, you're doing this because of X, that was the fuel. That was the
Yeah.
fire to keep me going.